on CBS.
Next on the CBS19 News at noon, 2 people are dead after a small plane crash in Fluvanna County. We'll have the latest on the investigation from Virginia State Police. Pro-Palestinian protests returned to grounds less than 24 hours after chaos erupted on Saturday over what police deemed as unlawful assembly. And as anti-war protests across the country continue, Israel is warning Palestinians to evacuate part of Gaza. We'll have the latest on the war just ahead.
Live from the CBS19 News Studio, this is CBS19 News at noon. Charlottesville News first.
Good afternoon and welcome to the CBS19 News at noon. I'm Brenna Kiefner. Thank you for joining us today. We start today with a developing story. The demonstrator that was arrested at UVA over the weekend on the charge of resisting arrest is now out on bond. CBS19's Felicity Taylor joins us now with more. Felicity.
Brenna, everyone who was arrested on Saturday, that was 25 people, are now out of jail. That includes 41-year-old Kristen Finn, who's charged with assault on a law enforcement officer. Finn was released on bond this morning with minimal restrictions. For example, the court is allowing her to go out of the country for a wedding this week. Now, according to the criminal complaint, Finn allegedly punched a police officer while the officer was attempting to disperse the protest on Saturday afternoon. This morning, her attorney Jeff Fogel said the case still in its very early stages.
We're trying to gather whatever evidence that is out there, videos, we have a secure location, witnesses, and we're going to start on that.
The other 24 people arrested Saturday were charged with trespassing. They've all been released on jail. That was on Saturday night. Now about 50 people were at court today to support those who had their hearings this morning. Now we're still working on plenty of other angles on this story, including the potential action against arrested students by the university. That will be on your news tonight starting at 4. In the newsroom, Felicity Taylor, CBS 19 News.
All right, Felicity, thank you. An attack by Hamas militants shut down a major crossing for desperately needed humanitarian aid in Gaza. And calls for action on a ceasefire continue to grow in Israel and around the world, including on dozens of college campuses. But at a ceremony marking Holocaust Remembrance Day, Israel's prime minister signaled that he will not bow to international pressure. Ian Lee has the latest.
Hamas militants fired rockets at a key humanitarian aid crossing between Israel and the Gaza Strip, prompting its closure. Assistance was later airdropped. Israeli defense officials say at least 3 soldiers were killed in the strike, several others wounded. Today, the IDF encouraged the evacuation of parts of Rafah after firing toward what it says were the launch sites of the Hamas rockets. It all comes as peace talks hit another impasse over the weekend, with both sides blaming one another. At a Holocaust Remembrance Day ceremony, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said his country will defeat its enemies and seemed to rebuff on the global push for a ceasefire.
No amount of pressure, no decision by any international forum will stop Israel from defending itself.
Protests critical of Israel's war in Gaza continue on college campuses around the U.S. as graduation season gets into full swing. Demonstrators temporarily disrupted the University of Michigan's commencement on Saturday. Police cleared out encampments at the University of Virginia and the University of Southern California. USC is replacing its main graduation ceremony with an event at the LA Coliseum later this week.
Standing up for what's right is a little bit more important than me being able to walk across the stage.
Meanwhile, over the weekend, Israel's war cabinet voted to close news outlet Al Jazeera's offices, accusing it of airing anti-Israel incitement. Al Jazeera called the order very dangerous. Ian Lee, CBS News.
Virginia State Police is investigating a fatal single vehicle crash. It happened on Sunday night on Afton Mountain Road in Nelson County. A 2005 Chevrolet Tahoe was traveling east on Afton Mountain Road when it ran off the right side of the road. The vehicle continued into a ditch where it struck a culvert and overturned. The driver, Philip Pugh of Afton, died at the scene. He was not wearing a seatbelt, and the crash remains under investigation. Virginia State Police are also investigating a plane crash that happened in Fluvanna County. According to state police, the wreckage of a small plane was found in a wooded area along Miles Jackson Road in Palmyra just before 9 o'clock on Sunday morning. Parts of the aircraft caught on fire due to the impact of the crash. Neither the pilot, John Lantham, or Neben Ivor survived the crash. Their remains were transported to the office of the chief medical examiner in Richmond for examination and an autopsy. Now, the aircraft left the Manassas Regional Airport and was flying to South Carolina. There was a little bit of light rain at the time of the crash, and the FAA and NTSB are working to figure out the cause of the crash.
And now, your CBS 19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
And a good Monday afternoon. We had some rain, some much needed rain over the weekend, and we'll see more chances for rain and even a few thunderstorms as we move into the upcoming work week. We're mostly cloudy on our JS Skyline network as of right now. Madison providing us with the view here. Temperature wise, we're mostly in the lower to middle 70s. A few spots still in the upper 60s though. 68 in Scottsville, 69 in Dillwyn. We're at 67 in Madison. 70 your temperature in Orange. Charlottesville sitting at 74 degrees. Doppler radar here. We'll see a very isolated shower through the afternoon, but I think the bulk of the rain moves in as we get closer to the evening, probably right around dinner time, when we'll see most of the shower and storm activity picking up. Temperature-wise, we'll work our way into the upper 70s and the lower 80s with 81 your high temperature today in Charlottesville. I'll time out tonight's storm chances, tell you how the rest of the week is also shaping up. That's coming up here in just a little bit.
All right, AJ, thank you. Pro-Palestinian protesters were back on UVA grounds on Sunday after chaos erupted on Saturday as multiple law enforcement agencies stepped in to shut down their encampment. Steph Shigalori was on grounds and has the story.
Free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine!
After a several-hour-long clash between pro-Palestinian protesters and law enforcement on Saturday that ended in multiple arrests, protesters returned to grounds Sunday afternoon. At the first organized protest, a group of nearly 100 people gathered at the rotunda where students read statements.
They gave me my charges at the end of 7 hours. Since I have been charged with trespassing on the university I attend and pay tuition to, Tim Longo has decided that from this second forward, I am barred from entering grounds indefinitely. A reminder that I live in Vaughan and still have finals.
And chanted in response to the 25 arrests made on Saturday after the pro-Palestine protest on grounds was deemed an unlawful assembly by law enforcement, after multiple warnings that their tents and loudspeakers violated UVA policy.
35,000 dead! And you're 35,000 dead! You're arresting kids instead! And you're arresting kids instead! Jim Ryan, you can't hide! You're supporting genocide!
The second protest, starting around 2 p.m., was an organized march of about 100 that went from the memorial to enslaved laborers to UVA President Jim Ryan's house.
Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest!
At the end, one student read a statement expressing frustration with how the university responded to the arrests made.
We had to fend for ourselves. We were not given any resources by the UVA. A statement did not acknowledge any student safety, any support. It only shifted blame because that's all they do. That's all they care about. What do we say to that? Yeah!
Both protests Sunday remained peaceful with no significant police presence, a vastly different scene from Saturday. In Charlottesville, Steph Chigalori, CBS 19 News.
And UVA officials have spoken out after 25 people were arrested and charged with trespassing on grounds on Saturday. UVA say that they made an agreement with the protesters that they were able to practice free speech last week as long as they adhered to UVA policy, which included not using loudspeakers or tents. Now, that all changed on Friday night when the tents went up and UVA police gave final warnings before deeming the protests an unlawful assembly on Saturday afternoon. UVA says that it did not have to go this way, but the protesters refused to leave. Some demonstrators tried to physically confront the police, and that's when the police started using pepper spray and arresting individuals. 25 people were placed into custody, all being charged with trespassing. In a statement to the university community, President Jim Ryan says that they rely on consistent policies to ensure that speech is free and does not interfere with others' rights, but those policies were broken. It is 12:08, still ahead on the CBS 19 News at noon. It is Teacher Appreciation Week. We're going to be showing you how one local teacher is using a unique method to teach his students just ahead.
Frontal system going to pass through the area these next couple of days. It's a slow-moving system, meaning multiple chances for rain. I'll time them all out for you. That's right after this.
Clean air is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Stanley Steamer is the most experienced and largest air duct cleaner in the country. A real clean that enhances air quality, reduces allergens, and helps you breathe easier. Experience Real Clean with Stanley Steamer. Call or click to schedule your appointment.
An American unit was deep inside cartel territory. They were surrounded, under fire, and calling for help. The Navy SEAL close enough to answer the call, John McGuire. Alone, taking incoming fire, he engaged the enemy. John McGuire rescued them all. Now, he's ready to take that fight to Washington. John McGuire for Congress. American Patriots PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
At Jones Heating and Air, we like to make each job personal. We strive to repair and maintain your system first before replacement. That's why we recommend a maintenance service, spring and fall. And when your system does need to be replaced, we'll help you find the system that meets your needs. We make each job personal. So personal, we put our name on it. If you want reliable service and high quality work, give us a call.
Your independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Stanley Steamer cleans carpet, tile, hardwood, upholstery, air ducts, and more. Leaders do things the right way. That's why we use the most powerful trucks and the best trained technicians in the industry. When you need the best quality whole home deep cleaning, call 1-800-STEAMER.
When we say the news starts at 4,
we mean the news starts at 4. CBS 19 News.
Where the news starts at 4.
Well, this week is Teacher Appreciation Week, and every day CBS 19 is going to be recognizing a different teacher that is making an impact in their classroom and beyond. Here is Albemarle County's teacher who's using a different approach to help his students learn some lessons.
Next is a step that we must rehearse is multiplication or division, whichever comes first.
Mr. Donnelly at Crozet Elementary is making an impact in 5th grade with all of the educational raps he has made. Back in our day, students grew up with mnemonics like "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally" and "Never eat soggy waffles." So Donnelly wanted to give his kids their own way of remembering the things they are learning in a fun way.
Just kind of wanted to flip it in my way, just a little bit, and add anything that I was thinking rap-wise to connect with kids.
To create these raps, it's really a team effort between Donnelly and his students. They work together to create something that is easy to memorize. And this approach has let his students excel in so many different areas, like math, reading, and even friendships. While creating the raps is fun, Donnelly hopes other teachers can take away the impact music can have in the education world.
I want to kind of blend all of that together so kids see art everywhere.
Mr. Deep! Mr. Deep! Mr. Deep! Mr. Deep! Mr. Deep! Mr. Deep!
And now, your CBS 19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
I think you need to start chanting for me before I do my forecast. You need to hype me up before I do my forecast.
I know. I would walk into any classroom and just be ready to teach, ready to learn.
So ready to learn. That was awesome. Well, we do have some clouds out there on our JS Skyline network. Get used to those clouds. We're going to see a decent amount of them for the next couple of days. We'll also see some more rain chances and some storm chances similar to what we had over the weekend. Between Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, we got right about 1 inch to 1.25 inches of rainfall across most of central Virginia. I'll show you what I'm expecting for the next couple of days here in just a little bit. Temperature-wise, we're currently in the 70s. We're at 74 at both our studio and at the Charlottesville-Albemarle Regional Airport. Those dew points in the mid to upper 60s. So you're certainly feeling the humidity out there. Once we get those dew points above that 60 to 65 degree mark, it really starts to get humid. Once we get above the 70 degree mark in terms of dew points, that's when it gets really uncomfortable and unbearable. And unfortunately, we are getting to that time of year where those 60s and 70 degree dew points are going to become a lot more common. Lower to middle 70s across most of central Virginia here. We're at 74 in Scottsville, 72 in Standardsville and Lake Monticello, 70 your current temperature in Orange. Doppler radar not showing a whole lot right now, maybe a very isolated sprinkle right around wintergreen, but besides that, nothing really going on right now. I do expect us to be mostly dry through the afternoon. It's once we get closer to the evening, right about dinner time or so, that we'll start to see the showers and the thunderstorms picking up. That's thanks to this frontal system here. It's a rather slow moving system, so we'll keep that thunderstorm chance in the forecast today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and on Thursday. We'll start to drop the rain chances a little bit, though, by the end of the week. Some good news with the rainfall over the weekend and the rain chances these next few days. We're dropping the levels for the tree pollen tomorrow. We'll still keep the high levels for grass pollen, but thankfully we're not on the very high levels for both of those like we were last week. Through the afternoon, temperatures continue to warm. We're in the upper 70s and the lower 80s for highs. 81 your high temperature today in Charlottesville. With the thunderstorm potential, thankfully, we're not expecting anything in terms of severe weather, just a general thunderstorm risk across the entirety of our area. Futurecast here. There comes the line of showers and storms right about 5, 6, 7 o'clock or so, clearing out through the rest of the evening. We are partly to mostly cloudy on Tuesday. We may see a little bit of sunshine peeking out here or there. Another chance for a few isolated showers and a few rumbles of thunder tomorrow afternoon. This is going to show kind of how isolated the activity is going to be. Some areas, maybe 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch, whereas if we get one of those stronger thunderstorms, we could get an inch and a half, maybe upwards of 2 inches of rainfall in some localized areas. So flooding a little bit of a concern. Your Cardinal Home Center extended forecast. Lower to middle 80s today and tomorrow. We're right at 90 on Wednesday. We'll keep the 80s around on Thursday. Cooler, still an isolated afternoon shower or storm through the weekend.
But the good news about all that rain is for the allergy haters like myself, we get a little bit of a break, which is
definitely good. Some nice relief from the allergies out there. We've got another couple of weeks that we'll have to deal with the pollen, and then it'll get better through the summer.
Sounds good. Thanks, AJ.
You're welcome.
It is 12:16. The Free Union Country School isn't your typical elementary school. It focuses on unbounded learning and exploring, and their head of school is now embarking on a new adventure. CBS19 Sarah Allen reports.
Head of the Free Union Country School, Tim Bainham, was selected to take part in the Darwin 200 project, which takes people on a 180-foot replica of the HMS Beagle through Charles Darwin's voyage across the globe. Bainham says the opportunity has allowed him to bring the mission of the school's unique learning style to the next level.
Our Unbounded Science program, which involves our entire campus and is integrating science through the curriculum, is also the idea is that we want to integrate it everywhere, to think unboundedly.
While preparing for his voyage that takes off June 13th, Bainham has also been working with each grade to tell them about Charles Darwin and his adventures.
And he did a lot of research about different animals and discovered a lot of new things. It's just a very fun school, and Tim is a great head.
He says he hopes the school's exploration-focused style of learning inspires them to think outside of the box in their everyday studies. The school, celebrating their 40th anniversary this year, will also be connecting with an elementary school in Easter Island while Bainham is on his journey. In Free Union, Sarah Allen, CBS 19 News.
Still ahead on the CBS 19 News at noon, some sea lions are putting on quite the show for some tourists in California. We'll tell you why more sea lions than usual are showing up in San Francisco. That's coming up.
New CBS Tonight. An abduction in a public place in broad daylight?
Pretty creepy.
Caleb, is that you?
$3 million, noon tomorrow. Something's off. Federal agent, stop! Woman you kidnapped.
Where is she? His partner double-crossed him.
Let's move. But if there's clowns in there, you're on your own.
A new NCIS Hawaii, tonight, 10/9 Central on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
A donor's family will have to pay extra fees for procedures to recover organs. That's total bullshark. Get the facts at donatelifevirginia.org.
But in many ways, worse than the terrible Democrats are the backstabbing rhino Republicans.
I've never been caught on camera trashing President Trump.
Now, you're asking me privately. I should say this. I can't sit by and watch this rat that we nominated Trump.
Virginians for Freedom PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
For the past 50 years, Camp Holiday Trails has been a special place in the heart of the Blue Ridge Mountains, empowering kids and teens with medical needs and their siblings to thrive. We've created a haven where every child's unique journey is celebrated, making memories that last a lifetime. Join us in celebrating our 50th anniversary and learn about our year-round programs across the Mid-Atlantic region. Visit our website and register for summer camp at campholidaytrails.org.
At UVA Community Credit Union, we are forever grateful for the heroes in our community. Our Hometown Heroes Mortgage is designed to help our local heroes who work in education, medical care, fire and rescue, law enforcement, or the military afford a home in the community they serve. To thank you for all you do, we're offering our Hometown Heroes low fixed and adjustable rate options with no down payment and affordable mortgage insurance. Visit UVACreditUnion.org to learn more or talk with one of our loan officers today.
In an instant, a livelihood can end, and hope can be restored. We're Alan and Alan. Call us.
A person can't be an organ donor unless they're in perfect health. That's about as false as Medusa's eyelashes. She wears magnetics, by the way. Get the facts at donatelifevirginia.org.
A group from Central Virginia is in Africa this week as part of a cultural exchange with the people of Ghana. The group is learning about African culture and history, courtesy of the Charlottesville Winneba Foundation. Winneba, Ghana is the sister city of Charlottesville. Former CBS19 anchor Bob Beard is on the trip, and he sent us some of this video of the Charlottesville delegation touring a school in an impoverished fishing village. Part of the school's infrastructure was paid for by donations from Charlottesville Rotary Clubs. Former Mayor Dave Norris is leading this year's journey to Ghana. We'll be right back with a final check of your forecast. You are watching the CBS19 News at noon.
This afternoon on CBS19, it's Judge Judy, followed by CBS19 News at 4, 5, and 6.
Safe energy source for whatever you do. Let Flickr show all the steps to you.
Smell rotten eggs? There could be a gas leak. Listen for hissing sounds near a gas pipe. Look for blowing dirt on the ground. If you suspect a leak, leave the area immediately and call 911.
Play it safe and remember the name. Flickr the flame. Flickr the flame.
Well, that was too close. If we keep waiting, it'll get one of us.
I know these things can be a real hazard, but groundwater does this to concrete all the time.
Water did this.
Mm-hmm. But it's okay. You can lift it back up.
Well, let's get lifting.
Let's do it.
The effects of water can be surprising, but you can. Put water back in its place with a free inspection from JES. For a limited time, get $500 off any repairs when you call or go online today.
Go clean out the house and clean out the yard. Put it all in a Capital Shed.
Capital Sheds has over 500 sheds in stock and ready to go. Quality sheds, unbeatable prices, and financing as low as 0%. Or rent to own with no credit check, instant approval. Act now and we'll take $500 off. Go to CapitalSheds.com.
For the very best shed at the very best price. Go with Capital Sheds.
Neuropathy can be a dark place with constant pain and suffering. Symptoms can include numbness, pain, tingling in your hands, legs, and feet, or balance issues. Neuropathy could result in confinement to a walker, wheelchair, or even amputation. Lyrica, Cymbalta, gabapentin, and dangerous opioids only mask the pain. They never fix the problem. Finally, there is a solution. Advanced Pain Management of Virginia, a leader in chronic pain and neuropathy reversal, uses FDA-cleared non-invasive therapy to restore nerve function with no drugs and no surgery. Each patient is evaluated by our advanced medical team of 10 physicians. They find the root cause and determine the best medical solutions with an individualized treatment plan for chronic pain and neuropathy. The treatments have a 90% success rate, and Advanced Pain Management of Virginia has patients who drive for hundreds of miles away for relief. Call today to schedule your $49 neuropathy consultation. At Advanced Pain Management of Virginia, it's all gain and no pain.
When we say the news starts at 4,
we mean the news starts at 4. CBS 19 News,
where the news starts at 4.
In your Money Watch, U.S. stocks soared on Friday following a cooler than expected jobs report showing that the U.S. added 175,000 jobs in April. The Dow shot up 450 points, the NASDAQ jumped 315, and the S&P 500 gained 63 points. Matt Piper has the latest business headlines.
A popular brand of peanuts is being recalled in 5 states due to a possible listeria contamination. Hormel Foods is recalling 4-ounce packages of Planters honey roasted peanuts and 8.75-ounce cans of Planters Deluxe lightly salted mixed nuts. The FDA says the recalled products were sent to Publix distribution centers in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, and North Carolina, and a Dollar Tree distribution warehouses in South Carolina and Georgia. Consumers are urged to discard the affected nuts or return them to the place of purchase. No other products are affected. The Fall Guy was #1 at the weekend box office, though the action comedy earned a less than expected $28.5 million domestically. The May the 4th re-release of Star Wars prequel The Phantom Menace took the #2 spot with just over $8 million, also in time for the film's 25th anniversary. And tennis drama Challengers slipped to 3rd, raking in just over $7 million. And this week, the nation honors nurses and educators. Several major restaurant chains are dishing out discounts. Healthcare professionals can enter to win one of 100,000 free burrito gift cards from Chipotle. Buffalo Wild Wings is offering 20% off to nurses and teachers with valid ID. Sonic Teachers Circle members can get several freebies starting tomorrow, including a free burger or drink with purchase. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Matt Piper.
Well, some sea lions are making a big scene in San Francisco. San Francisco's Pier 39 looks a little bit like an overrun beach with town with revelers. Sea lions are piling up everywhere on the piers and around Fisherman's Wharf this week. Pier 39 has seen more than 1,000 sea lions, which is the most in 15 years. It's a great tourist attraction for now, but local officials are concerned that all the weight that the sea lions are putting on their lounging barge will become a little bit of a problem. Still, fans are taking it in, and so are the sea lions, who came for one reason, which was the seafood buffet, which is honestly, AJ, I feel like that's why you go to a lot of places
honestly,
as
that's
well.
kind of why I go on vacation too.
Yeah, just
Can
for
you
the
imagine like booking like a hotel room and like getting there and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to listen to these sea lions barking for the next week?
It's worse than traffic.
That's tough, but they are cute. They are cute. fun to watch.
Yes.
Let's get one last check of your Cardinal Home Center extended forecast. We'll see scattered showers and a few thunderstorms picking up as we get further into the afternoon and the evening. I think the window for the thunderstorms is going to be from about 5 p.m. until 7 or 8 o'clock or so tonight. Temperature-wise, we're in the lower 80s. We'll see another round of a few more isolated showers and storms tomorrow and Wednesday. Temperatures are mostly in the 80s for the rest of the week. We're back into the 70s through the weekend, but overall another pretty active forecast. So if you do have outdoor plans, keep the umbrella close by, but it's not going to be a total washout any of these days. So I don't think you need to cancel any outdoor plans.
Which is all that matters,
exactly.
Is that you can still enjoy the outdoors this week. Thank you for joining us on the CBS 19 News at noon. We'll see you at 4.
Cleaning up after your dog or cat doesn't have to be a daunting task.
With a Miele vacuum, you can clean up after your pet while eliminating unwanted pet odors and purifying the air you breathe.
Available at Charlottesville Sanitary Supply.